My name's Mark Richardson. I'm part of the partnership group at Lane 4. My leadership role is I'm one of the client directors. In my athlete career, which was many moons ago, I guess the highlight was winning Olympic silver medal with the 4x400 metre relay team in Atlanta in 1996. I'm also a former world champion, again in the 4x400 metre relay. That was at the World Championships in Athens in 1997. My process for setting goals is actually reflecting on it in quite a deep and meaningful way. I think for me, the thing that's always worked and is of most importance is really connecting to my own personal why. So thinking about something that's going to really, I guess, fire and ignite my passion, interest, and keep me connected to the goal over the longer term, because it's inevitable you're going to experience bumps, roadblocks, obstacles that get in the way. So what's the thing that's going to fortify your resilience and give you the motivation and energy required to really maximise and give you the best chance of realising that particular goal? As an 11-year-old, I had this flight of fancy that, having watched the Olympic Games in 1984, Los Angeles Olympic Games, that I wanted to become an Olympian myself and to win an Olympic medal. I heard not too long ago, apparently you got a greater percentage chance of winning the national lottery. So at that point in time, could I have any insight or have known just the enormous challenge that I was setting myself? Of course I couldn't. But I think there is something about, if you are able to connect with a goal that really triggers and drives your intrinsic motivation, if you work tirelessly towards it. So I guess my Olympic medal was 10 years in the making, and you have a strong, robust plan and a great support net structure or infrastructure to tap into, then actually you can achieve anything. So how do you go about identifying that pushing force? So I think you've got to understand yourself. I think that really being self-aware is important, understanding, I guess, the level of satisfaction that you have in a particular area of life or in all areas of life, and being really crystal clear on what it is that you're trying to improve. So what's the informing question or the informing thing that you're going after, that you're trying to address the balance of? For me, I try and be a holistic person, so thinking about, what an aspirational goal might be within work, thinking about that domain, but you also got to think about your other identities as well. So what are the things that fortify me outside of work? Or what are the things that are important to the type of environment that I want to create for my family? What are the things that are going to give me that sense of fulfillment and make my heart sing outside of the workplace? Feels just as important as setting, ambitious targets within the workplace as well. What do I think that's made me successful in goal setting? One, I think I pay attention to goals. Many of my colleagues will laugh at me. I am relentlessly goal driven. I think that if you can set the right goals, it helps to drive the right kinds of behaviours, so that's really, really important. I think spending time on reflection is really, really key, and reviewing, actually. So reviewing what's working well, what are the things that you want to enhance, and that will probably give you some clues and indicators of the types of things that you want to go after. I think wholeheartedly committing yourself to goals. So if you can set the right goal, it should consume your thinking, it should command your thoughts, it should liberate your energy, inspire your hopes. And if you can do that, then I think that actually it's inevitable that you will be successful. So kind of piecing all of those kind of elements together, I think, will help people to set robust, exciting goals for themselves. I think that lots of people focus on the performance goal that they're after, and perhaps invest a lot of time and energy around that, and they don't kind of think about, well, what will it give them? Why is that important to them? They don't come up with something that's more deep-rooted. And I think that's really fundamental, actually, because if you can harness a really strong, captivating, descriptive why for yourself, it means that it's almost inevitable that hunger, desire, motivation will stay with you as you move through and try and realise this goal. Because I imagine if it's something that's worthwhile and ambitious, it's going to be aspirational, and I think some great goals, they're so awe-inspiring, they kind of take your breath away as you articulate them. So if I could give someone 3 takeaways on goal setting, I think the first one is reflect. think of yourself across all your domains and pay attention to that. I think once you've done that, think about, well, what are the things that are going to give you the greatest level of meaning? What is your own personal why? The goal that you identify, well, what would it give you? For what reason is that goal important to you at this point in time? And how will it fortify and nourish you in the future? So there's something about that. Actually come up with a holistic plan. So a goal is only as good as the plan that you put in place to execute it. So it's kind of, how do you turn an aspirational goal into a tangible outcome? And I think you've got a plan for it. So how do you map that out? So you go from the personal why through to the outcome, goals or objectives that you're working towards. Think about the performance indicators that you move through, or the performance goals. And then you think about, finally, well, what are the process goals? So what are all the mini interventions that you need to put into place on a day-by-day basis to make it inevitable that you'll hit your goal and milestones in the future. Once you set a goal, track, review performance against it. Just what are the things that you need to fine tune? What are the things that you need to iterate on your plan? A plan shouldn't stay static. So I guess the higher order goal perhaps might stay static, but the ways of getting there could change. They could evolve. You might need to iterate, and you might need to just consider the things that are going well, but perhaps the things that aren't going so well, so you can get an effective course reset.